This week, we shall show you how the event of the LTV Pensioners Book Launch was organized. It was a gathering of who is who at the launching of a book, History of Lagos Television, written by LTV pensioners. The event began with the national anthem and followed with the introduction of the distinguished guests to the high table. Amongst them were the Honorable Commissioner for Establishment, Training and Pensions, represented by the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Commissioner for Information and Strategy, represented by the Ministry's Director, the Chairman of the Nigeria Union of Pensioners NUP, Lagos State Council, Reverend Remy Johnson, Mrs. Da Silva, wife of one-time Secretary to the State Government SSG, late Mr. Larinde Da Silva, the book reviewer, Professor Fashino, general managers of TV, radio and others. The NUP State Council Chairman, Reverend Femi Johnson, commended LTV pensioners for the courage in writing the book.
History is being made today, and we thank God that we are all participants. From the reviewer, because I have not read the book, but I have been convinced, and I know, because this is a book that has been written from fact. We are talking about people that started the work there, and that is why it is very important that we go through it, we digest it. I'm one of you, if I would say that, but I was an artist. I played the music, I have school choir, and the rest.
In his welcome address, the chairman of NUP LTV branch, Mr. Joseph Adey, explained how the book was written and its eventual launching.
I, on behalf of Lagos Television pensioners and retirees, welcome our distinguished guests from far and near to the premises of Lagos Television. I also welcome our distinguished members for the various roles they played in ensuring the right of eventual production of this book. And it is perhaps the first time a history book on a broadcast organization is being written and launched in Nigeria. We all know that history is not a burden on the memory but an illumination of the future. 4 years ago, March 2018 to be precise, at one of our monthly meetings, an idea came from one of us, Elder Ademola Fakeye, that it would be nice and useful if we could write a book on Lagos Television and title it History of Lagos Television. This idea was unanimously accepted, and the following month, a 5-member committee headed by Mr. Joseph Adey was inaugurated to start writing the book. The committee was, among others, to recall LTV establishment, how did it happen, who initiated the need for its establishment, who were the prominent figures that established the station, what certain programs did they encounter, and of course the eventual commissioning of LTV on 9th November 1980. The committee was also mandated to interview some key personalities like Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, who established Lagos Television, former general managers, as well as some pioneering staff of the organization. The Senior Citizen Forum, that is the LTV Pensioners Weekly TV program, interviewed the first executive governor of Lagos State, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, Mr. Jide Akinbiyi, before their death, and also on 3 occasions in Shagamu, Ogun State, interviewed Aremo Taiwo Alimi, who played major role in the LTV establishment. These are the 4 personalities that really established Lagos Television. The writers also touched on LTV initial major challenges, especially the politics of LTV channel allocation, the mysterious fire incident of 1985, the relocation of LTV to its present position, that is here, because then we were at the valley, where the House of Culture is now. That was where our office then was. But it was after that 1985 fire incident that brought us here. Then the relocation of its present, that's after the incident of fire, the relocation of LTV to its present position here. Then the period of doldrums after the fire incident, we found it difficult to have a behind. Of course, the policies of exit of Mr. Taiwo Adeniyi, and of course, the gradual official interference into the affairs of LTV management. Let me state that Alhaji Lateef Dakonde did not in any way interfere into the running and administration of Lagos Television throughout his tenure as the governor of Lagos State. Probably because he was a journalist of repute and of course a good administrator. It should be noted that Lagos Television was established for the people of Lagos State. I want to emphasize, the people of Lagos State. Hence its initial wide accessibility of its juicy programming throughout the country. LTV pensioners decided to write the history of Lagos Television without injecting any fiction write-up, that is, any fiction write-up on anyone knowing fully that history is like a mirror. It shows how and what you were when you were there. What did you do? Maybe to correct the system or method. Therefore, history writing is quite different from writing memos, where one can easily inject fiction and suiting and that is putting in something suiting to oneself. History is not like that. LTV pensioners had been meeting regularly on a monthly basis, and we thank God that our relationship with the management has been so cordial. I want to all that our former general managers, permanent secretaries should feel free to be part of us to move Lagos Television forward. I'm saying this because our permanent secretaries and of course, probably because of their position, they believe they do not belong to any. It is wrong. We started this organization together. Likewise, any other organization. They should be part of that organization. The fact that you rose to the permanent secretary post, even if you are a commissioner, if you are a minister, where you pass through must not be neglected.